Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video today. We are again in the forest, and if you are seeing this video, I want to remind you to remind yourself before you do anything in a day, before you do anything, that you are enough, that you don't need to prove anything, you don't need to show up as any special person to know that you are enough. Because so often we forget that, right? So often we think we need to be like that, we need to change to become like that, we need to act like this, we need to think like that in order to be enough. But because of that kind of thinking, we always feel like we are not enough. We always feel like we need to add something up. We always think like we need to change something, we need to improve in certain areas or whatever it is. And we're talking a lot about improvement, self-improvement, or however we want to call it. But it's not actually about improvement. It's about ditching what is distracting us from the awareness of who we truly are, so we can embody that pure vibration of being the creative self as you are, the loving self, the compassionate self, the kind self as you are. So, we often forget that, and I see many people often in the comments, and I receive messages from people which say that I think I'm depressed. I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to stay in bed all day long. And those are the states we fall into it just because we are trying so hard to be somebody, so we would feel accepted, so we would feel enough, so we would feel worthy. And of course it's not your fault, because from our environment we're always kind of wired to think that way. Like, we always hear what we need to do, we always hear who we need to become, we always hear how we need to act, how we need to talk, how we need to feel in order to be worthy and to be enough. But we all know that it's an internal state, right? Being enough and feeling worthy and feeling loved, it's an internal state which cannot be achieved by becoming somebody or getting to somewhere. It can only be achieved when you tap into yourself and you become aware why you don't feel enough, why you don't feel worthy. If you could do things better, you would do things better. If you would know how to do things differently, you would do things differently. Isn't that so? Why you are pulling yourself down because you didn't, because you couldn't do something the way you wanted to do it? If you would know exactly how to do it better, you would do it better, right? Why you're trying to prove to yourself so badly that you're not worthy already, that you're not enough already? If you just ask yourself, you may find so many reasons why you're not worthy right now. You may say, well, my life is not abundant right now, I'm not wealthy, maybe your health is not okay, or whatever it is. And those may be reasons for you. But at some point we need to decide, well, I'm willing to step beyond those reasons, and I firstly need to accept myself in order to move on. Because if you're not accepting yourself as you are, nobody else can. And truly nobody can make that shift. So if you're not accepting yourself the way you are right now, there's no way you can change anything you want to change, because the change happens when you accept what is. And you accept yourself the way you are. And we all know, well, we could shift the way we think, we could shift our beliefs, and we can let go of the beliefs which are not serving us. And there are aspects of life, we have the sun, there are aspects of life which we can uplift and we would say improve. But it doesn't mean that if we are not there yet, that there's something wrong with us, right? It doesn't mean that if we are not there yet, there's something wrong with us. We are a work in progress. Every single day we are a work in progress, and that's enough. You will never be perfect, and that's enough, and that's okay. And that's perfectly well. That's how nature has created us. Isn't that? We are perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. That's perfectly well. If it happens that today you want to decide, well, today I will lay in bed all day long, do that and see how it feels like. If at some level it will feel unpleasant, see what is coming up. Why it feels unpleasant, what is coming up, what emotions are, maybe some traumas are coming up. Maybe you feel a bit shaky because of the traumas or whatever it is. Observe what is coming up. Don't feel bad about it. Like I said before, if you would know how to do it better, you would do it better. Because you don't know, you're here to learn. If you would already know everything, you would not need to be here on this earth. That's why we say this earth is a school where we are learning more about ourselves, more about that emotional system, more about the mental system, how to use our minds, how to focus, how to maintain focus, how to maintain longer time of the attention span, because so many of us are distracted all the time and we are craving the pleasures, right? So we are doing things because of the pleasures and not truly because things are resonating with us. So we are learning what is resonating with us, how to recognize what is resonating with us, what doesn't resonate with us, and how to let go of what doesn't resonate with us. And it's all about learning lessons. So we are learning right now. And if you're watching this video, I hope it can remind you that you are a work in progress. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be in a certain way. It's truly perfectly well that you have certain goals and that you have a vision, like who you want to become or what kind of behaviors you want to adopt or how you want to embody what you feel. But because you're not there yet, it doesn't mean that you're not okay, that you're not enough, that you're not worthy. You know, being worthy doesn't mean that you have a bunch of money and many things and being perfectly healthy to be worthy. It's an internal state. We awaken within, and that's where we start thinking new thoughts, which can lead us to manifest more of the things we would describe as worthy people have. You know, what helped me to become financially free, for example, I firstly needed to be inspired to do something every single day. And it doesn't mean that I needed to see the results in order to be worthy or to see myself worthy. I truly didn't care about that. All I needed to do is to find something which inspires me. And for many people, the greatest magic happens when they go back into their childhood and they recognize, well, in their childhood they wanted to be artists, they wanted to be singers, they wanted to be dancers, they wanted to be scientists, they wanted to be doctors, but then aging happened and the programming happened and we became a product of the society, and at some point maybe we've lost that connection with that inner child which is still calling us to do what's resonating with us, right? And if you feel like you've lost that connection, it doesn't mean that you're not okay right now. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy. As I said, you're a work in progress. You're like learning to gain that greater connection with yourself, and that's perfectly well. Again, and sometimes we need to truly lay down. And sometimes we need to say, well, today I will not do anything. Today I want to figure something out. And we can write all day long what is coming up, what we are thinking, what we are not thinking, and who we want to become and who we want to be. And the reasons we are already enough. You know, the reasons are not outside of us. Sometimes, you know, people see me, oh, I need to move because, okay. I thought a group of people is coming and I'm on the middle of the road. So, you know, sometimes people see me in the nature and they say, are you living in the nature? And I'm living in a house and I'm living a life that I want to live, But this is how I'm expressing myself. I feel one with nature. And I feel that that's what is the most resonating, what is resonating with me. So I love to do that. And if I will feel to do things differently, I will do things differently. And that's what we need to do. So, my friends, never suppress yourself because you think you should be as somebody taught you or as your environment taught you to be. Never suppress that internal calling which is saying to you all the time that you are enough. You know, sometimes we lose ourselves in that mental box, which is giving us so many reasons what we should change and who we should become and what is not okay with us and why we shouldn't feel happy and we shouldn't be excited and we shouldn't be inspired. So many reasons, and people lose themselves there because it's kind of normal in the society. It's kind of normal to be that kind of a negative person. And it's okay, critical thinking is okay. It helps us to improve what there can be improved, to find a new way, to find a new path. But if we go too deep in critical thinking, we forget that we are not what we think. So we start identifying ourselves with that box. And then we put a label on that box, and that's who we think we are. So my mission is always to remind you that the box is within you, but you're not the box. So when you recognize that box, you can start decluttering it. You see how many garbage is within it, and it's time to declutter it until it becomes empty. And when it's empty, you can add into it what is resonating with you, right? What it means? It means that you start thinking your own thoughts. You wake up and you feel gratitude for the opportunity that today you can learn against something new. Today you can create something new. Today you can observe yourself and you can reflect your life and you can gain the lessons the life from the past taught you, so you can apply them and see where those lessons will bring you, right? And once you wake up to that, you will feel inspired. Whoa, such a great opportunity to do something new, to try something new, to see what feels right. But most importantly, before you do anything, you say to yourself, if I do anything or if I don't do anything, I am okay. I am enough, and I accept myself, all of myself. If I feel sad, I accept sadness right now. What sadness has to tell me right now? What frustration, or if you feel depressed, go within. Why you feel that way? It brought you to that state because most probably you're repeating something in your life which clearly doesn't serve you anymore. And it's time to truly... Why you feel like you want to stay in bed all day long? Because when you lay down in bed, you have time to reflect. But then you need to do something about it. You have time to reflect. You have time to think about your past. Don't lose yourself in the box. You have time to reflect. Write it down. What kind of emotions comes up? But at some level, you will need to decide what to do, because life is about choices, right? Moment by moment, we are choosing. Whatever you do, you've chosen to do that. Moment by moment, we are choosing. So life is all about choices. Choose to feel enough. Choose to feel worthy. Choose to be yourself. Choose to declutter the box and fill it with what is resonating you, because that's what will uplift you. You know, if you start seeing your mind that way, our brain works really well when we start imagining things. And when we start imagining, like, our mind is like a a box. You can open the box and mind will become open and you will start downloading inspiration. And when you need to close your mind, your box down, so you stop overthinking, you close the box and you can put it into a closet. Play with that and just be in the presence of maybe of nature, of this eternal present moment, and just observe and play with that. Just play with that. Like the sounds are playing right now. We could describe them of birds and wind and all different things, and you hear my sound. But if you stop describing that, you will just hear different frequencies of sounds. And you see how many different variations of sounds you can hear. And we observe. And that's what is calming us down. So we become more aware of the choices. It's like the time would slow down and we recognize more of the choices we choose or we pick moment by moment. And then we ask ourselves, is it in alignment with me? Is it in pure alignment with me? Is it leading me to a greater joy? Is it leading me to a greater fulfillment? Is it leading me to feeling more worthy or feeling worthier or whatever? But before you choose anything, choose to be worthy. Choose to be okay. Choose to be enough, because you are. From your soul to you, you are already enough. So this is it, my friends. I will leave you here. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Till next time, thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop. I draw my passion. You're all truly appreciated. One love.